Good evening, everyone. 18:30, I'll make a start. Welcome everyone to this meeting of Cabinet on Monday the 18th of November 2024. Can I just read this note for you? May I remind everyone present that this meeting is being broadcast live via YouTube and the recording will be archived for future viewing. Could all councillors and officers wishing to speak ensure that when they do speak, they switch on their microphones, and when they finish speaking, switch them off. This is extremely important for the live stream to ensure the cameras are focused on the person speaking. Thank you. I'll start the meeting agenda. Item 1 is to receive any apologies for absence.
Thank you, Chairman. All members of the Cabinet are present this evening.
Thank you, Andrea. Item 2 is declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest? None indicated. Thank you, Cabinet. Item 3 is approving the minutes. Can I just, for the record, say that myself, Councillor Paul Walker and Councillor Dennis Fletcher were absent from the last Cabinet meeting. We were otherwise engaged on council business, so we won't be voting for the minutes. So can I have a proposer to approve as a correct record the minutes of the public minutes of the meeting held on the 21st of October? Councillor Louise Walker has indicated. Seconder, please. Councillor Simon Slater. All those in favour, please show. I believe that's everyone that's present is saying they're in favour. Any against? Abstentions? I believe there'll be 3, and there are. Thank you, Cabinet. Item 4 is to consider any urgent business brought forward to the meeting under Rule 12. I'm not aware of any urgent business. Thank you for that. I now move on to the item 5, the forward plan. Chief Executive.
Thank you, Leader. This is the forward plan for the period from the 1st of December this year through to the 31st of March 2025. Happy to take any questions on the forward plan.
Any questions on the forward plan? It's here for information and for Cabinet to note. If there are no questions, can we note that then? Yeah. Thank you. Moving on to item 6, that's the Washlands Enhancement Project, and I believe Ms. Julia Baker is going to present this for us. Please, Julia.
Thank you, Chair. So the purpose of this report is to update on the development of the Washlands Visitor Centre and to seek confirmation of funding for its delivery. Following the approval of the Towns Fund business case in March 2022, a Washlands Visitor Centre concept has been developed in partnership with Staffordshire Wildlife Trust. The Washlands Enhancement Project is now entwined as part of the ambition to regenerate the High Street and Riverside Washlands area. Phase 1, the enhancement project, is currently being delivered. Phase 2, the Garden of Remembrance, should be completed by the spring of 2025, and then Phase 3, the Washlands Visitor Centre. Since the approval of the Washlands Visitor Centre project, this has evolved through multiple iterations and was reviewed following the election of the new administration in May 2023. The site itself has a number of easement constraints which informed the repositioning towards the Meadowside Leisure Centre shown in Figure 1. By positioning in this area, we avoid the existing pipework, cabling and easements, so removes the need to realign key site infrastructure and associated costs. Also, by having it as a standalone facility, also makes the management of it through a lease more straightforward. So the design is still based on Staffordshire Wildlife Trust's preferred specification. The ground floor gives public accessibility from the public realm area, and the first floor controlled access for staff and schools. The full concepts are shown at figures 2 and 3. The proposal also incorporates a large lift, and the rooftop has been designed as a bi-solar roof with a large area allocated for PV charging. So an initial indicative landscaping plan has been produced and shown at figure 4, and progressing from that, the initial conceptual elevations have been developed and are shown at figures 5 and 6. The planning application is expected to be submitted in December 2024, and the procurement exercise will start in January 2025. It's proposed that the Council proceeds with Staffordshire Wildlife Trust as the preferred partner, and that the operation of the facility is secured through a long-term lease. So moving on to the financial considerations. 2022, the total budget agreed for the project was £4,597,405. The external works were accounted for separately and not to any specific project at 1.52 million. Since the value engineering exercise, the new total is £3,583,584, with the external landscaping budget of £745,618, which gives a combined budget of £4,329,202, rounded off to £4,330,000. This represents a saving of £1,013,821. It's proposed that this saving is utilised for the external landscaping works, which then leaves an underspend of £267,405. Confirming this new budget figure leaves 7.15 million for the rest of the site. So the 3 recommendations are: note the proposed design concepts for the Washlands Visitor Centre and its compliance with the Towns Fund programme. Confirm an overall budget of 4.33 million, comprised of 3.58 million for the Washlands Visitor Centre and 0.75 million for the external landscaping. And note the principles of the lease identified at 10.2 and delegate authority to proceed with this to the Leader of the Council and the Cabinet Member for Finance. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Julia. That was very helpful to actually read the recommendations, saved me a job. Any questions or comments from Cabinet?
No, sorry. I was going to make an observation, but you wanted questions, so I haven't got one. Okay.
I think Councillor Chowdhury might have a question first, and then we'll come back, Rob. Councillor Chowdhury?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Just a question on the delivery of the project. So obviously all the spend is there for 25-26. So are we looking at completing this project? Bear in mind that we're going to submit the planning application next month. The planning, the procurement, doing the early design work, and the construction, will it all be finished by 25? Is it March 2026?
So the construction is going to be, it's at the moment from the autumn till the summer of 2026.
So if that's the case, should we now look to look at the funding distribution going into 26-27? Because clearly that is the intent, isn't it?
I think once we know that the planning application's gone through, obviously the new programme will be set out from the planning application and procurement exercise, so we can then obviously redistribute the budget.
Okay, thank you, Julia. I'll go to Councillor Hawkins for observations.
Yes, to thank Julia for all the work she's done on this. It's an extremely good project, but also to say that when we came in as an administration, there were certain aspects of this that we didn't find to be really as good as it should be, and they've worked very quickly to, as Julia has said, make those 3 points come around. It's a separate building. It's been decoupled from the water tower, which enables the water tower now to be a separate feature. It's a building more in keeping, I think, with what a visitor centre should be, and it's overlooking the washlands, so you've got a link between the visitor centre overlooking the washlands, so it's all in one. And the other thing is, because of the underspend, we have been able then to spend a significant amount of money on the Garden of Remembrance, for which there was very little put into the indicative budget when we took over last May, and I think people will see when that comes to fruition quite a significant difference from the plans that may well have been viewed previously.
Thank you, Councillor Hawkins. Can't agree more, actually. The recommendations are at 18. There are 3 of them. I'm happy to move them. Could I have a seconder, please? Seconded by Councillor Hawkins. All those in favour, please show. That's unanimous. Thank you. Thank you, Julia. Moving on to item 7, which is the progress update on the cost of living initiatives. I believe Rachel Liddell's going to present this. Please, Rachel.
Thank you. This report provides updates on a number of council-funded support schemes, including energy efficiency measures, the cost of living advisor service, local warmer public community spaces, free food provision, and the discounted food provider, the bread and butter thing. Overall, these schemes are performing well and are on track to deliver on their objectives. Our energy efficiency measures include fuel poverty advice provided by our Beat the Cold service, which has assisted 339 households in 23 to 24. Energy efficiency grants provided through our Staffordshire Warmer Homes partnership, which has provided 61 households with improvements including insulation, heating systems or renewable energy installations. We provided 29 households with a range of low-level energy efficiency measures, including LED light bulbs, radiator reflector panels and heated blankets. And whilst the current provision is below target, it is anticipated that the Healthy Homes project will result in a significantly higher uptake of these measures. The cost of living advisor service has achieved an impressive set of results, which are detailed in Appendix 1 and summarised in Figure 2, and this service has been extended until March 25. Our warmer public community spaces provided 132 hours of access to warm spaces in 23 to 24 and has been reinstated for the current financial year, covering November to March 25. The Food Aid Fund has successfully provided grants to 10 free food providers, with support going further than expected, with payments being received into the summer period, and we have had 3 successful applicants for support through the Community Kitchens initiative. Further investment has been made into the Bread and Butter Thing, which is a 3-year grant awarded using excess public health funding. This will contribute to affordable food provision in East Staffordshire, with the provision of 5 hubs provided per week. The recommendations are to consider the progress update in the report, approve an extended scope and increased grant to fund energy efficiency measures that will reduce hazards associated with damp and mould and excess cold, and that consideration for continued financial support of the cost of living advisor service grant programme be discussed as part of the 25 to 26 budget process.
Thank you for that, Rachel, and again, thank you for reading out the recommendations. Any comments or questions from Cabinet? Councillor Hawkins.
Just one really. I mean, a lot of people have been helped by the work that's been done since the inception of these schemes, as you can see on figure 6.3. But the number of households that were reached initially through Beat the Cold, I think you had 139 households, but the number that you reached was significantly lower than that. And you've had some time, obviously, to review why you think that was. What's the conclusion that you've come to?
Microphone, Rob.
Sorry, is that for Beat the Cold? Yeah. In terms of the first start of the financial year, in terms of Beat the Cold, generally they believe that the lower numbers are to do with the summer mainly. They're expecting them to increase, and I believe they are increasing, but yeah, it's generally the same with energy efficiency. All that is always to do with a relatively decent summer.
Can I ask a supplementary? Have you reviewed, whoever's responsible for this, reviewed the method by which households, families were approached? Did that have anything to do with the take-up? Have you thought about a different approach to try and get more people engaged in this?
Again, is this Beat the Cold or the energy efficiency measures? Beat the Cold. In terms of Beat the Cold, we don't approach people in terms of the Beat the Cold Advisor service. We publicise it, it's on our website. They work closely.
Covered all bases then, I think.
Councillor Chowdhury.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Can I just say it's an excellent report, and it just highlights the number of initiatives that we are undertaking in terms of cost of living. I think a lot of these initiatives aren't always visible to us and even to the public. So it's just good to see everything sort of mentioned and captured in the report, and there's a wide range of cost of living initiatives, not just one or two. And I think it's the combination of those which is actually helping our residents who are really in need. And personally, looking to the future, I'm looking forward to the bread and butter thing, and and also the coverage that we've got across the borough, not just in Burton but also in Uttoxeter. So it's really good to see, and I think once that comes on board fully, it'll be really, really good for the residents this winter and beyond. So excellent report, thanks.
Councillor Slater.
Thank you, Chair. I'd just like to echo really what Councillor Chowdhury has said. I think this highlights all the amazing work that we're doing in terms of the cost of living with the food aid and so forth that's reached so many people across the borough. Just on figure 9, so the first food hub I think launched last week in Uttoxeter. So Louise and I went to visit just before that was launched for the trial, and I think so far 40 people plus have signed up in Uttoxeter. So I think that's really showing the action we're taking is really helping people, and people seem very enthusiastic about it. And also, if you're looking into the new year, we've got 3 hubs opening, with 1 more yet to be identified. And I also understand we're the first authority in the county to introduce this. So I think it really shows the action that we're taking.
Thank you, Councillor Slater. I'm not seeing anyone else indicating, so I'll formally move the recommendations at 17. Can I have a seconder? Councillor Slater. All those in favour, please show. That's unanimous. Thank you, Cabinet. That ends the public part of our meeting. So thank you for the public who may be looking in. And we are now going to move into the private session where exempt information is. So I have to say that in accordance with section 100A4 of the Local Government Act 1972, the press and public be excluded from the remainder of the meeting, as it is likely, in view of the nature of the business to be transacted or the nature of the proceedings, that there would be disclosed exempt information as defined in the paragraph of Part 1, Schedule 12A of the Act. I'll formally move that. Can I have a seconder? Councillor Fletcher. All those in favour? That's unanimous. So, Ms Davis, could we have the recording off, please? Thank you.